What's up guys, Chigs here from Chigs Tech Reviews. So this is the H96 Max V58. Now this one has powerful specs with a brand new chipset and lots of features that we're going to be checking out in this video. This box is not cheap, it's priced around £150, basically similar price to the Nvidia Shield and Apple TV 4K. But for the money, is this box going to be better? Well, we shall certainly find out in this video. So this box is powered by the Rockchip 3588 Quad-core, and for graphics we have integrated Mali G610. You also have 8 gigs of LPDDR4 RAM and 64 gigs of internal storage. This box also has built-in Wi-Fi 6, Gigabit LAN and Bluetooth 5.0. It's running full Android version 12. You've got HDMI version 2.0A. It supports up to 8K at 60Hz and 4K 60 with HDR10 and HLG. And this also supports 5.1 and 7.1 surround sound via HDMI pass-through. Inside the box, you will find a user manual, an HDMI cable, a power supply, and I'll give you a close-up of the voltage information. This also comes with a voice remote control, so I believe this is an infrared remote control powered by 2 AAA batteries and functions via USB dongle. Last but certainly not least, the TV box itself. So H96 Max is back. So interesting design with 2 external antennas on the back. On the front we have nothing. On the side we've got some ventilation. On the back we've got power socket, your optical out, HDMI out. We have a Gigabit LAN, 2 external Wi-Fi antennas, and on this side you've got USB 3, USB 2, and that brings us back to the front, and this is what the bottom of the box looks like. So without any further ado, I'm going to get this hooked up to my TV and capture card, and we're going to find out exactly how good the H96 Max V58 actually is. I'll be right back. So first of all, I ran a boot up speed test, and this TV box took 12 seconds to fully load from a cold start. So here is the home screen. We have a simple icon design. This is running full Android version 12. Top right hand corner you can see your status info for connections. That's Wi-Fi, USB, Ethernet and Bluetooth. And just underneath you have your local time and date. Now all the large icons you see are fixed and cannot be customized, but you do have a customizable row at the bottom. So you just hit the plus sign, select your favorite apps, and they will immediately appear at the bottom. Now if we head over to the main system settings, go to device preferences and check out the system storage info. You will see that this box has 64 gigs of internal storage, from which you have 51 gigs free to use. Now if we go back and have a quick look in about, you will see the Android version. Now apparently it's running Android TV OS version 12. So it's been detected as Android TV OS, even though it doesn't look like Android TV OS. There's the patch level information. The baseband version is unknown, kernel version is there, and you've got the Android TV OS build number as well. And looking at these details, it doesn't look like it's an official version of Android TV OS. So I'm not expecting Netflix certification or even Netflix HD to work, but that remains to be seen, so we will be testing that shortly. Now this box does have built-in Bluetooth. I'm just going to go through some of the other settings available. If we go to display and sound, go to advanced display settings, format selection, show formats, and you can see HDR10 is available. Dolby Vision, HDR10 Plus and HLG are not available. You've got match content frame rate and is set to seamless. You can have non-seamless or never. I'm going to leave it on the default. Now if we go back, I just want to quickly show you what you have under decode and bitstream. So it says audio device, decode, you've got HDMI bitstream and you've got SPDIF pass-through. And under inputs you have your HDMI CEC, and these are the various options available, all on by default. Okay, we also have a screensaver, energy saver, and if we go to advanced settings, you've got power key definition. So it's currently set on dormancy. You've got performance dialog, so if I turn that on, it will give you some performance information on the side. So you've got something called system bar hide, but there is no system bar available. This box does not have navigation status bars at the top or bottom. If you go to more settings, it will give you the full Android settings layout. Now, I just want to quickly talk about the remote control. So remote is very responsive and it works via the wireless USB dongle. So some of the features, you've got a blue backlight. If you wanted to switch off the backlight, you keep the backlight button pressed for a few seconds and the backlight will turn off and then it won't bother you. But if you wanted to switch it back on, just keep that pressed again and it switches on. This remote also has a built-in microphone and there is your voice assistant button in the middle. So I just want to quickly test out the voice search function, and you only have to press the search button once and you let go and you can start talking. So here we go. 4K video. And there you can see your results. Now the voice search is currently limited to YouTube. So whenever you press this and whatever you search for or whatever you say, it's going to search it in YouTube. I guess you could install Google Assistant from the Play Store and then the functionality will increase. But by default, it's simply a YouTube voice search. Another cool feature of this remote control, press the mouse button in the middle, then it will give you a rather responsive air mouse. So really nice to have an air mouse function in the remote control, and you can switch the mouse cursor on or off by just pressing the mouse button. Alright, so let's go ahead and check out the system apps. So these are all the apps installed on this box as standard, and you've got quite a few apps to get you started, including Netflix, Disney Prime, you've got the Play Store, you've got YouTube, you've got Kodi Media Player, and you've even got 2 third-party app stores pre-installed. So APK Pure and Aptoide TV both come pre-installed. Now let me open up the Play Store and show you that this is in fact the Android TV version of the Play Store. So this is the limited version of the Play Store, which mainly has Android TV apps that you can install. So the first app I'm going to try and install is Netflix. We already have Netflix included, but I just want to show you guys something. This is the proper official Android TV version of Netflix. So if you install the app from Play Store, you will now have 2 Netflix icons. The black Netflix icon is the original version that was pre-installed. It's basically the tablet version. The white icon Netflix is the one we just installed. That's the official Android TV version, and that will only work on official licensed Google Android TV OS. If it's not officially licensed, this is what will happen. So you'll get the error code and Netflix just won't work. So that's something to bear in mind. You won't be able to use the official Android TV version of Netflix. That is just not licensed for this box. But the pre-installed tablet version works absolutely fine, and I'll show you that in a bit. But before that, we do need to test out screen mirroring. So starting off with Android screen mirroring, if I open up the Wi-Fi display app and grab my Android phone, the Poco F4 GT, and there you can see the box has come up, and I just have to accept the permission on screen, and any second now the Android phone should mirror, and as you can see, it's working fine. There is quite a massive delay, to be totally honest with you guys. Quite a massive delay and lag for Android screen mirroring. This is what you can expect. Okay, so now we're going to test out Air Screen, which is screen mirroring for your iOS devices. Alright, so we grab our iPhone, click screen mirroring. So we're looking for the AS H96 Max V58, tap on it, and any second now the iPhone screen should be mirrored. And there we go. iPhone screen is mirrored, and as you guys can see, this is working really good with minimal lag. It's actually working much faster than the Android screen mirroring. Alright, so now it's time to play some 4K video samples from a USB drive, and I'm going to do it with the pre-installed Kodi Media Player. So starting off with the high bitrate Jellyfish demo, this is 160 megabits per second, and as you can see, the video sample is playing absolutely fine. Now we're also testing out the 180 megabits per second video sample, and as you can see, this is also playing back pretty smooth. And the real test, 400 megabits per second 4K high bitrate Jellyfish demo, and you can see it's actually doing a pretty decent job. So next clip is 4K 60 with HDR. And the next clip is 4K 60 with HDR10. So it looks like this box is really good for 4K playback from USB, and it supports HDR10 and high bitrate 4K. So let's move on to some YouTube. And starting off with the usual Costa Rica demo, you can see maximum resolution supported on YouTube is not 4K, it's actually 1440p at 60 FPS with HDR. So let's see how it plays back. This box does not support YouTube 4K. The maximum we're getting is 1440p. So I'm just going to play a few more trailers.
problem here, guy? Can I talk to you for a little bit?
You should come inside right now. There were 4 of them.
Zanai.
Now there is a kind of issue that I've discovered. If you try and play back a YouTube video or any video that has HDR10 plus, YouTube crashes. So for example, so the Transformers HDR10 plus movie trailer, you can see we've got a black screen, just didn't work. So pressing back a few times or pressing the home button will get you back to the home screen. But this time it's crashed quite bad that I actually have to restart the box by pulling the power cable out. And just to prove this issue, I'm going to now play back the Avatar trailer, which again says HDR10 plus, and there you go, black screen. I'm just going to try and come out of it straight away by pressing back a few times, and luckily I was able to do that. Now this issue is not just an HDR10 plus issue. If you try and play back a Dolby Vision trailer, it will give you the same black screen. So a lot of issues going on there. So let's go into settings and see if we can resolve this. So display and sound, match content frame, I'm just going to say never, because there is a certain issue, something is causing this, and hopefully we can resolve this. So open up YouTube. Alright, Avatar trailer HDR10 plus. It actually worked.
You know who I am, but I'm about to rule the world.
Wow, yay!
So that was YouTube streaming. There was a slight issue with match content frame rate. We switched it off and everything started playing back perfectly fine. So that was YouTube. Now let's move on to Netflix. So this is the tablet version of Netflix, which won't work with the standard remote control buttons. You do need to activate the mouse, and then you'll be able to basically drag the screen up or down, and you can drag the movies left or right and select something to watch. Netflix supports a maximum of 540p, so SD quality streaming on Netflix. Alright, moving on to Amazon Prime Video. Let's test out Disney Plus next. And Disney Plus fortunately does work, and it does support HD streaming. Okay, so moving on to the gaming test, starting off with Asphalt 8.
Sebastian Larson. No, couldn't hold on to it. Moving up the field, stretching the play. Into the box. Get in! Wow, look at that great flexibility. Right now, everything's going the veteran Shawn Michaels' way. It's matches like this that make Monday Night Raw the hottest show on cable TV. Let's go.
Now for you advanced users, DRM info shows Google Widevine level 3. And here is CPU Z, where you can check out the clock speeds, and you can see that we are running the Mali G610. Now this device is running a funny version of Android 12, and it does come rooted as standard. Now here are the results for the internal disk speeds. We achieved read speeds of 236 and write speeds of 147 megabits per second. Now in the Wi-Fi speed test, we got download speeds of 64 and upload speeds of 19 megabits per second. So running the internet speed test again, this time over Ethernet, and you can see download speeds 64 megabits per second and upload speeds 19 megabits per second. So pretty much top speeds we achieve in our office. So that brings us to our benchmarks, beginning with Geekbench single core score of 517 and multi-core score of 2145. And in the AnTuTu benchmark test we achieved over 500k. So let's see how that compares with the others. So here is my top Android TV box performance chart for 2023, showing you the latest TV boxes and seeing how they compare with each other. The ranking is based on AnTuTu benchmark performance scores, and I've also rated them out of 5 so you know what I think overall. Now based on that, you can see that the H96 Max V58 takes position 2 on this chart with an impressive benchmark score of 500k, making it the second most powerful performing streaming box of 2023, but also surpassing the performance scores of the NVIDIA Shield TV. Furthermore, I've also given this box an overall rating of 4.0 out of 5. So from this chart, you can see the performance scores and my overall rating all color-coded to make it easier for you to read. Now you can view the full versions of all my charts online at chixtech.com and read them at your leisure. So there you have it guys, that was the H96 Max V58. This is the most powerful Android TV box we have seen this year so far. And you guys have seen exactly what this thing can do. You already know all the strengths, so let's go straight into the caveats. Now this box has a strange unofficial version of Android TV OS with a full Android skin on top. It's a kind of hybrid Android OS. The main drawback of this OS being unofficial is Netflix 4K license is not supported and you only get Widevine level 3. So Netflix and Amazon Prime streams SD quality max. Disney will give you HD streaming, but the strangest thing I was seeing was YouTube at 1440p max. Also, no Vision or Atmos supported, no navigation status bar, and if you connect a hard drive, do make sure it's formatted in either NTFS or FAT32, as exFAT formatted drives do not work. If you're into emulation, gaming, internet TV, or 4K streaming on third-party apps, then this box could be good for you. However, I do think at this price point, official 4K streaming should have been included, at least in Netflix and YouTube, and one would expect official Android TV OS as well. The chipset is great, super fast performance throughout. You can play some PS2 games at 8x resolution, so that's no doubt amazing performance for retro emulation. And I look forward to testing this chipset on other streaming boxes with the hope of better licensed software experience. Internal storage speeds are also the fastest we have ever seen in a TV box. Multitasking is great thanks to the 8 gigs of LPDDR4 RAM. So impressive specs, impressive performance, more powerful than the NVIDIA Shield TV. But the question here is it better than the NVIDIA Shield TV? Well, of course it's not. Shield TV offers a much better streaming experience with 4K streaming across the board and fully licensed Android TV OS. I hope you found this one useful. If you did, please go ahead and hit that like and sub button if you have not already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.